fix there. Hi, welcome back. I cannot wait to share this technique that's working so well for me and my ex-husband. Me and Katie. Katie's here now, and welcome to week 3 of Red Wine Chat. We're not here with all the answers, but we've learned so much just by listening to people this week and how they've navigated their exes. And Christmas. So Katie, how does your Christmas with your ex look? It's literally next week, isn't it?
I know. Actually, it's a week today. And hi to everybody. Jules and I are on our second glass of wine, not because we've drank it. We've both actually spilt our wine on the carpet before we even started this evening. So, yeah, hopefully my Christmas is going to go better than the start of our evening. Yeah, thanks, Jules. So Christmas in a week today. So my hope is we have a plan, but my hope is that we will be able to spend Christmas Day together, the 4 of us. We are going to hopefully have some nice food. Hopefully go for a swim. Well, I'll go for a swim, whether they do or not. Sorry, potentially a surf with the girls. And yeah, hopefully our plan is to be the 4 of us. That's where we stand at the moment.
That is perfect. I'm actually doing the same. It's all working out. So me and my 2 daughters, we're all going to have it at my ex's house. So, which is perfect. So it means I'm going to stay over the night before, and then we're going to have so we can do the Christmas Eve boxes and just get into the hot chocolate and the Christmas movie. And so it's all going to, in my head, it's all going to plan, and it's going to be perfect. It's going to be absolutely perfect. Wake up Christmas morning and then do have the Christmas Day. And it makes it easier for me this year, Katie, because my ex has literally just met somebody, and it's really changed everything.
Changed the dynamics, hasn't it, for you? Yeah,
massive. And before that, it wouldn't have been the same. So it's literally just, I can see the shift in his energy and his mood and his happiness. And that's all you want for you. You've had 20 years with this person, maybe 20 odd years with this person, and I think happy. So, and I can see that shift in the energy. So I think we're all, wherever we are, that all 4 of us are going to enjoy this Christmas.
Yeah, I'm so pleased for you guys, because you've been on such a journey of being so friends. I mean, haven't you? It's been amazing, really. And obviously it's been a really difficult period of time, but you've remained so positive throughout and believed that it's going to be perfect. And you get your Christmas that you knew that you would. You have such a belief that it was going to work out, and it has, which is just amazing. And like you say, your ex is happy, your children are happy. I know my child was with yours this weekend, and just it was so noticeable that you'd all enjoyed some nice time together, which then rubs off on selfishly on my child, who can see again another really positive relationship. It just feels like shifts are happening at the moment, I would say. And I appreciate there's going to be people watching our YouTube who are going, how are you even thinking of being able to be in a position where you can all do that? And I think it's about acknowledging that Christmas can be a really tricky time for lots and lots of reasons. And I think giving yourself a bit of grace, that it can be tricky. It can be, and it's okay to feel, we were talking earlier, it's okay to feel a little bit emotional, that this is I think regardless of what your family looks like, separated, not separated, Christmas just brings out intense feelings of even grief, of past memories, of happiness. It's just a very intense time, isn't it? So I think if you're sitting watching this thinking, how are they able to have a Christmas Day all together? We will share tips, obviously, throughout to how we've managed to get to this point, but also be kind to yourself if you think this year this might not be possible, but maybe think about for next year. How could it be possible next year? What things could you do to work towards so that next year you're thinking and sitting like Jules and I, thinking you might be able to, if that's right for you guys, be together? Because there is tips, there is ways that we can help this sort of happen. I think we've learned along the way.
Absolutely. Right at the end, we're not going to be it's not a massive lengthy video, but at the end of this video we're going to share our top 3 things that we've been doing that has changed. To me, it's been a massive shift.
Absolutely.
the whole thing. And these shifts can actually work on absolutely anything that you want in
Yeah,
life.
I was just going to say that, Jules. We're talking about it through a lens of divorce, but actually the tips that we can share could actually be used on lots of areas of your life, not just on your relationships.
Yeah, absolutely. It is Christmas. I know my sister-in-law rang me yesterday and she's going, Jules, don't worry about all the presents and the extravagance and and all this and that. And it's like a lot of families are doing that this year, aren't they? Where you think, okay, so I'm not gonna focus on like the extra 5 members, like all the kid,
Yeah.
and you think, oh my God, there's another huge thing. And I think actually, let's just draw it in a little bit and enjoy. Like
Yeah.
just about the meaning and just having time with the special people in life. And if
Yeah.
like just being aware for a few moments on that day and going, oh my God, do you know what? I'm just grateful that I've got my kids.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
even if it's a small gift or whatever it is, it doesn't matter. And you just be grateful for that.
Yeah.
That's really gonna shift me this year because like you don't rein it in. Sometimes you forget and just let things just, you know,
Yeah.
my girls are watching YouTube TikToks and things when families are getting thousands of presents, then walls and walls of presents. I think that's not,
No.
that's because they're increasing their following on YouTube. It's not real. It doesn't mean that that's
No.
normal.
No. But it's about trying to find pleasure, isn't it, in those tiny
Pleasure.
moments. We were doing on oh, I can't remember, it was Friday night. Everyone was a bit grumpy, and I put karaoke on. And I did this blind karaoke where you're not allowed to see what song it is. And they were filming me and basically just taking the mickey out of me why I was singing terribly. But I thought it was Coldplay and it was Taylor Swift. So I was so wrong. And but just for a moment, I got that fuzzy feeling. I thought, oh, my house was all decorated, all twinkly. The girls were all in our matching pajamas, which I have to say were just from Shein, very cheap, not and uh, and just for those 10 minutes, it was just gorgeous. And I'm sure before that was awful, and after that might be not great. And I just thought it doesn't have to be on Christmas Day, even, does it? You've got lovely Christmas moments throughout this season, and it doesn't have to be on Christmas Day. So if you don't have your children with you on Christmas Day, doesn't have to be on Christmas Day. It's just being present for those moments. And when we do parenting courses and we talk about being present for children, all the research shows it doesn't have to be for hours. 10 minutes quality time with your child uninterrupted without phones or doing a board game. Those 10 minutes can matter. Do you know, it's not the 5 hours necessarily. It's just finding 10 minutes or, do you know, and I think there's a saying, isn't it? Find the magic in the chaos. And that's what I'm going to try and do this season is find that magic in the chaos and not worry that everyone's got equal presence or that I don't know. I've remembered to get one of Rosie's present hasn't come down, and do you know it might not get here on time. It might not, but that's just what it is, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? I'm not going to then go and buy a replacement one. It will come when it comes, and it's just a privilege, isn't it? We're well, both of us are well, we're healthy. We're going to see our kids over Christmas, and we're going to have some lovely moments. And I think that's got to be enough, rather than this big sort of extravagance that's out there that's not real, like you say.
Just having the fun times and having the meal together. Yeah, and all that. And as you say, the sea swim, are you doing the sea swim? Do you know
Well,
what?
yeah, I'm doing a challenge at the moment, so I'm in quite a lot at the moment, just in my cosy. Actually, this weekend I was freezing. But talking about tips, I'd had a bit of a tricky weekend, but getting in the sea, oh, it's so good for my mental health. I think because you have to focus so much on your breathing that for those few minutes, you can't think about anything else apart from controlling your breathing. And I do it with a good friend, Emma, excuse me, and we sort of almost leave everything in the sea. So we leave
Leave.
any anger, we leave any emotion, we leave any moans in the sea, let the sea take it. So yeah, Christmas Day will definitely be in the sea and just give it all to the ocean. That's what I say when I go in. I just give it to the ocean. And the ocean reminds me, I know it's a bit twee, but those waves just keep coming and you just have to learn to ride them one way or the other. And I love the sea. It's just so grounding.
No, it's brilliant. Even in the summer when we've been in, and just when you get your head under or anything, it's just like you just come out a different person. It's
And
like
it's cold showers are the same. I've started to try and do cold showers, and it's funny because I love the sea and I can cope with cold sea, but a cold shower I still can't get my head around because I like to go in a shower to be warm. But I'm trying 30 seconds at the end, and it's quite amazing. I found myself today, about 3 hours later, smiling in my kitchen, just randomly smiling, and I think it's the effect of the shower. Just I was just smiling for no particular reason, and I think it's the shower, so I'm going to keep doing it.
yeah, the cold water therapy. Good.
Yeah, because also I think it's a mindset thing that it's probably going to be the hardest physical thing you do that day. And you've already done it. So by 6:30, you've already done your hardest thing that day. And then you can move on to a really positive day.
Yeah.
I think it's really good to set yourself a challenge like that.
Saying to yourself, the first thing in the morning, I've been saying to myself for a few months now, today is the best day of my life. Today
Yeah.
is the day of my life. And I just think, imagine saying that to yourself so
Mm.
frequently that your body and you believe it. However
Yeah.
the day ahead may feel, you're starting to place some really positive endorphins and the
Yeah.
emotion starts lifting in your body and that. So imagine combining that with a cold
And
shower.
then, well, they say the first 15 minutes of when you wake up set the day, don't they? So I I think those mornings about being, first of all, I think it should just be, and I'm trying to do this myself, gratitude. I'm awake. Do you know what I mean? I've woken up. Lots of people won't wake up. I've woken up, so I'm thank you. I'm happy that I've woken up. That gratitude, moving your body, drinking some water. Those first 15 minutes just set you up for the day. And I think starting with gratitude, it's just changed, doesn't it? It just changes that shift rather than looking at, well, I've not got this. This is not going right. Just sets you on a negative spiral. Whereas you wake up and go, thank you. I've woken up. I'm
Thank you.
happy. I'm alive. I'm well. Thank you. It just changes. It's so simple. It doesn't cost anything. Everyone can do it. Do you know?
It's
It's so powerful.
definitely, and continuing that, and then the cold shower. There's a few little tips, but
Mm.
tips that we were going to share
Mhm.
um, is how to navigate. Like when we talk about our exes and stuff, we were saying how do when we've got some negative negative text messages or things that are not going to
Yeah.
whatever. How can we shift that? Because any thought, feeling, and can turn into an emotion, and that emotion can then stay with us. So how do we navigate a negative? So it's like batting it away from us almost, like.
Mm.
And the best way is to just really just go within and just say, it's okay. I forgive you,
Mm.
Brian. Just say, it's okay, and send them love. And
Yeah.
we were chatting about that. Just send them love.
And do you know, Jules, it's actually, I think it's like a life-changing tip. Do you know, I think it really is because for the listeners out there, and Jules, bless her, knows this because I've gone on about it for about 3 years. But my ex is, should we say, quite keen on sending lots of negative texts and can have 20 or 30 texts at a time, just really sort of saying how bad a person I am, really. And over the last 2 years, I have just absorbed them. I've literally, like Jules said, I've absorbed them. I've made them emotion, and they've been so stuck within me. It's made me think that about myself. It's made me be angry towards him. It's made me just like almost have a breakdown if I'm being really, really honest. Like I really couldn't really cope with it. And then, as I said in our very first session, I think I did a session with Jules around these feelings, and Jules gave me some of these tips. And this weekend I was saying to Jules, the tip that Jules has just said there about sending love. I actually really proud of myself because I did it this weekend and on my own without Jules sort of like guiding me. And honestly, guys out there, I said to Jules, I don't mind if people think this is woo-woo because because it works. I don't mind why people think about it. But so on Friday evening, just to give you a bit of context, I sent a text about something practical and was just expecting a time response. I'd asked whether we're meeting at a certain time, so nothing triggering, I believed. And I was absolutely set in then with 20 or 30 messages again on Friday evening. And it did. I probably sat with it for about 20 minutes, 20 to 30 minutes, really upset, the usual pattern starting to set in again. I'm not good enough, the guilt, the shame, upset. By this point, I'd totally disengaged with any activity I was doing with my girls. It was ruining my Friday evening. And I thought, here we go. And the spiral was starting again that had happened for the last 2 years. And then I could hear like Jules in my ear. And I thought, no, I've got a choice in this. And it was so empowering. So rather than thinking, he controls me, he does this, I was like, no, I'm going to change that narrative. He doesn't control me. I've got a choice now. So all I literally kept saying was, I send him love, I send him love, I send him love. And I must have sent it about 100 to 200 times. And you know, the next day, I then was able to move on that evening, had a nice evening with the girls. That's the night I did karaoke, actually. So that was lovely. And the next day we had a cross-country event together where I knew we were watching our daughter and I knew we'd be together. And again, I had a choice. The old Katie would have almost been quite cold with him. I'd have probably made some digs. I'd have referenced the texts and it would have just spiraled. But I didn't. I was like, hi, UK, isn't it amazing, our daughter? Because this is our daughter who's been poorly. Isn't it amazing that she's doing cross-country? There's actually a rainbow came in the sky that I was like, oh. And do you know what? I took control of the meeting, well, of the gathering, and it was really successful. And then it isn't all positive. I'm not going to sit here and say, oh, we said it's real. On Sunday, the text came again. It wasn't saying that solved it. But this time I didn't sit for 20 to 30 minutes. I just automatically sent him love. I moved on. I had a lovely day actually with my boyfriend on Sunday and his family. Really lovely, kind of wholesome day. The girls had a lovely day with him, and he wasn't then texting me back and forth, which always worries me because he's meant to be with the girls, and then that impacts them. And on Monday night or Tuesday night, I get my days wrong, he actually sent me a text asking, said, I hope I enjoyed a TV program. And I thought all of that was down into Jules, really, is because I made a choice that I wasn't going to absorb it. And I had a choice. He wasn't going to control me in that sense. I had a choice to send him love and to change the narrative. And honestly, Jules, I can't thank you enough because it sounds so simple. And for those people out there who think it's a bit woo-woo, it doesn't matter. Just try it, because it doesn't matter why you are doing it initially. To be honest, on Friday night, all I could do was hear Jules saying it. And I thought, I'm going to try it. But by Sunday, I could do it almost on my own without hearing your voice. And it was life-changing. It meant I had a nice weekend. The girls had a nice weekend. I didn't go into a massive anxiety panic attack. Because I was, when things were tough, and I'm not knocking anyone who does this, but I was on antidepressants, I was on anti-anxiety meds, and the text messages were controlling me. They were controlling me. And this weekend, I just thought, no, that they're not, because actually all of his messages come from a place of hurt. And when I'm calm, I know they come from a place of hurt. He's not a bad guy at all. And that just was a shift for me this weekend. So thank you, Julie. And anyone out there, honestly, sending love it might sound so simple, but it is life-changing, because I had a weekend free of anxiety, free of panic. The girls had a lovely weekend. And we can now move on and talk about Christmas. And I'm sure there's going to be moments under Christmas. This is real life chat, remember. There's going to be moments over Christmas where I'm going to have to send love. And I'm going to have to, like Jules has said, different things for me along the way. And I'm sure you'll share some more tips. I'm going to have to do different techniques. It's not going to be perfect. I can't go from where we were to that in a week. But by me taking control of the situation and me sending him love, me flipping the narrative, I almost rewrote the next chapter of the story. It was amazing.
You're actually creating the next level of your story, because it's like about everything is a movie. Because when you hear the text messages coming in, you're playing the next scenario out, you're absorbing it. It's an emotion, a feeling, emotion, and visualization. It's all of that. So what we're doing by doing that is reclaiming like the movie. So instead of absorbing the negative, you're thinking, no, I'll neutralize it and I'm sending in love. And you will then watch the next bit of the movie play out, because it's almost like saying, right, this movie is going to end now, this continual texting and this feeling, and then almost then you'll be shifting your awareness, and then go to another movie, and that movie will then play out naturally, and you'll be creating one of harmony and with anything and everything. So if anybody wants to get more information, or wants to get some information with Katie as well when it comes to like dealing with you know, the children that you deal with at the moment, because you're a teacher, you know, if there's anything there that you want any help with or support with, and then same with me, if you need any guidance, we're here. But we're
absolutely, and those tips can make, you can use them, like say, for anything, like sending love in workplaces, and I'm also very open, like Jules said there, like my daughter, she's 11 now. I had to think how old she was there. Sorry, those glasses of wine. She's 11 now. But we've had awful Christmases. She was diagnosed with anorexia, and we've had some really tricky Christmases. But we've navigated them and we've got through them. So anybody who's in those, and we obviously, I was going through that with Rosie while we were separating as well. So there were so many emotions happening at the same time. So there's lots that Jules and I can reach out and support with, and like we say, we don't have the answers, but sometimes knowing you're not alone, I think is huge, and knowing that there is positive and there is hope at the end as well. And like we say, we will give you narratives of how Christmas Day went. I am sure we will have some funny moments to share with you, and some moments where I had to really send love. I am very, very sure. So they'll be great to share with you, and it'd be lovely to hear how you guys are thinking about how you are going to navigate Christmas. And yeah, and then eventually in the new year, maybe we can share some stories about how we all did survive this festive season.
absolutely, absolutely. We're going to do a few shorts as well, just to keep
Yeah,
the advice and the real chat going. So
absolutely. Yeah,
yes,
keep an eye out for some top tips in this week up to Christmas, and share your top tips as well of how to get through this tricky time, when we're sort of co-parenting and we've got two households. And yeah, any top tips gratefully received for us as well, and we can share, help each other.
absolutely, that would be amazing. Thank you so much, and we'll see you soon.
Yeah, have a great week.
Have a great week.